Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Emily, the Minimalish Mama, and for today's video I was really in the DIY crafting space of mind after 5 weeks of quarantine, so I took it upon myself to do some little projects around the house using craft supplies from my stash and stuff around the house that I had. So I hope you enjoy these BOHO DIY projects just to spruce up your space for spring. And if you enjoy projects like this, be sure to give me a thumbs up down below so I know if you like it, and if you don't like it, you can give it a thumbs down so I know that too. I will roll that tape now. So for my first project, I'm making a string of Casa beads, or those wood bead garlands that you see around on Pinterest. To make this, I ordered this big bag of wood beads from Amazon. I'll have a link to that in the description down below. And then I'm just getting a little bit of help here with stringing them on this hemp cord, and then I'm going to use this cord too to make some little tassels for the end. So it really is that simple, but I just love how these add a nice texture and shape to decorate with. I'm just adding some little hemp tassels on the end, and then this is going to be done. Next up, I found this little Sunburst mirror in my stash. I actually picked it up from the Dollar Tree a while back, and I'm not loving this silver black distressed finish, so I'm just going to do 2 coats of my favorite gold metallic paint, and this actually covered it really well. I'm pretty impressed with how it turned out. This is after 1 coat of paint, so I did go in and do another coat and then touch up some spots as well. And then I painted the edges. And this is how it turned out. I really like this. It reminds me of the Sunburst Mirror that my grandparents have on the wall in their home, so every time I see it, it makes me think of them. And now for a slightly more challenging project, this macrame plant holder. I really love the boho flair that this gives. It is fairly easy to make, and although I did make some mistakes, which I will explain to you during this video. So you will need some clothesline or macrame cord, a ring of some sort, tape measure, hot glue gun, and scissors. And also tea. Need that too. Cut 6 lengths of 15 feet each. Okay, so what I'm doing, taking each string, lining up the ends, and I'm going back up to the loop that I have at the top, and folding that loop over. And then I'm putting, here, turn this around. Okay, I'm folding the loop over, and I'm pulling these ends through. Is that the same? Or is that different? Let's find out. Yeah, that's different. Oh, no, it's the same. Okay, that's how it looks on this side, that's how it looks on that side. So I'm just gonna alternate. So let me show you that again. You just put the loop over the ring, and then pull the ends through the loop on the other side. Now, when you're ready to start your actual weaving, I highly recommend that you find a way of hanging it up, or even looping a string through the top of your loop and then just tying it to a table leg or the back of a chair or something, just so that it can swing freely. I made the mistake of taping it down on the counter, and I think that caused some problems for me later. So starting with the 4 strands in the middle, you're going to tie a square knot. And then you're going to tie as many square knots as looks good to you. I'll post a link down below for a really good square knot tutorial, but basically you make a shape of a 4 with the outside string, bring the string on the opposite end over the top, and then you're going to wrap it under the middle strands and then through that loop on the other side. just like I'm doing here, and then tighten it all up and adjust it so it looks good. Next, you're going to take your next 4 strands on the edge and you're going to do the same on that side. And then you'll repeat on the last set of 4 strands. Then you're going to measure down about 12 inches and then you're going to pull 2 from one side of your previous section and 2 from the other section next to it, and then you're going to do another set of square knots here so that your the two sections you had before are now merging in these sections. And this is where it is really helpful if your hanger is not taped down to a table like mine, but is hanging freely so that your strands don't get tangled and twisted up in weird ways. And then finally we're going to repeat that one more time. So go down about 12 inches, pull 2 strands from one side, 2 strands from the other side, and do another set of square knots. Now I'm going to try to finish it off. So I'm gathering it all together in a handful at the bottom, and then I'm just going to tie a big knot. Trying to make sure all the strands are sort of straight and where they're supposed to be. So I've got this hung up on our coat hook here. Man, it sure would have been a lot easier if I had done that from the beginning. But it is what it is. So I have here my big knot. I'm going to take the smaller piece that I cut and I'm just going to wrap it around the bottom to kind of finish it off and hot glue it. And finally, I'm just trimming all the ends so that they're the same length. And then I will finish those off by tying little knots in the end too. And that's how it turned out. My first ever macrame plant hanger. It's not terrible, definitely could have been better, and I'm looking forward to maybe attempting this again, and this time making sure I have it being able to hang while I'm doing the knots so then it doesn't get twisted up. If you have any tips for doing macrame, leave a comment down below and let me know. At least Bennett is a really big fan of it and he loves to play with this on the front porch. And last, but definitely not least, as this is probably my favorite of all the projects, I got this idea from another YouTube channel that you should definitely check out if you love this boho mid-century modern style. So for this hanging, this wall hanging, I'm just using this little rug from IKEA. I had it sitting out on the porch for a while and wasn't really using it or enjoying it much, so I'm going to just use some paint, turn it into a little wall hanging with some fringe. I'm just using some sample cans of paint, and then I'm looking for inspiration on Pinterest for sort of abstract shapes. And if you just search for abstract shape artwork on Pinterest, you'll find all kinds of ideas, and you can kind of use that as your inspiration to springboard off of that and come up with your own design. By using these colors, I already knew that they matched really well in my home. I've got my pink and navy. It will look really good on the wall. I even painted the fringe in this section, and I thought that looked really cool. And now for the big reveal. Ta-da! This is definitely my favorite corner in our house right now. I love to sit here with a cup of coffee and my journal or a good book, and I really love how these colors tie in with the colors throughout our house. To hang this, I literally just found a stick from the backyard and tied a string around each end. The yellow and pink tie in so perfectly with the pillows that I have on the couch right now, so I really love it. I hope you enjoyed these really easy DIY projects. Probably the most challenging was this macrame plant hanger, but hopefully you can learn from my mistakes on that. And I hope you enjoy getting your craft on and finding some stuff in your stash to repurpose and just getting a little bit creative. I hope you enjoyed watching these projects and that they've given you some ideas for some stuff that you could reuse in your home. If you do any of these projects or things similar, I would love to see it, so be sure to tag me over on Instagram at the Minimalist Mama, and I will see you guys in my next video.